Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Anthem live stream. My name is Ben Irving. I'm one of the lead producers on the project, and today I will be your host for the stream. Joining me, we have two of our amazing developers. We have Francis and Leah. We'll have them do intros in a second. The topic of our stream today is going to be Javelin personalization. So what that means is all the really cool ways you can personalize the appearance of your javelins and make yourself look really amazing. So we won't be covering things like loadouts and gear and weapons. We're just going to be focusing on the appearance of the javelin. So Francis and Leah, do you guys want to introduce yourselves, please?
Yeah, so I'm Francis Lacuna. I'm the character director on Anthem.
And hey everyone, I'm Leah Shinkewski. I'm a producer here on the Anthem team.
Awesome, welcome. So for the streams going forward, kind of what Mike and I thought we would do is we'd probably rotate hosting the show, and then we'd bring on some of our awesome developers who know a lot more about the inner workings of the game than we did and are responsible for building it. So before we dive into this system, Francis, I just wanted to ask you, many moons ago when we were thinking about, hey, how do we want players to be able to customize their appearances? What was some of the philosophy that went into, like, what were you guys trying to achieve?
Yeah, so the nice thing was starting with the new IP. One thing we really wanted to do on Anthem was fix some of the things we've done in the past on BioWare games when it came to customizing your appearance. In a lot of our other games, like Mass Effect, with Shepard always looked great. The party always looked great. But when it came time to equipping new armors, or if you get upgrades throughout the game, the armors always looked a little less great. They're always a little flatter. The quality wasn't as good as it should have been. So on this, with Anthem, what we did was we established our visual target first, and then we deconstructed that and rebuilt the entire personalization system around that, so that all the stuff you see in all our trailers, our cinematic assets, it is built with the same tools that the players will have to customize their.
Awesome. And can we go in one level a little further? Yeah. So the next question is for you, Leah. So Francis and the team had these lofty goals of being able to do all this amazing stuff, which inherently is quite complicated. And you and your team had to build a system that supported this. So before we dive into how it all works, can you tell us a little bit about how you guys went about designing the system?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think for most of our UIs and the user experience is really driven around the idea that it should be frictionless, easy to use, and sort of something that you can just spend time really enjoying the work that Francis has put together. So I don't want to say get out of the way, but essentially get out of the way. And so really what we've done here is the Forge, which is where you'll be able to customize your loadouts. We've put all these little interaction points on the suit, which are your jumping points, into all the places you can customize your XO. And that's your starting point.
Cool. And so we're going to dive in here a second, but there's a lot to digest here. So do you mind, Leah, just describing what are kind of the main sections for how you can customize your appearance? And then we'll have Francis dive in and we'll get going.
Sure. So as you can see, Francis is sort of hovering around the different points. We've got elements that can change sort of the silhouette of your suit, and then elements that are going to be able to change how they look. So your helmet, your arms, your legs are all towards the silhouette. And then we've got things like, and the chest. And then, of course, your paint, your vinyls, and your wear state will all adjust the physical appearance of the suit. And then ultra special, very fun animations, which will be for your emotes, your landing ands, and the victory pose.
Awesome. So I think what we're going to try to do today is we'll do the Ranger and we'll try for 3 appearances. And so Francis is just going to do his magics and we'll all watch in awe.
Do you want to go to paint
but
first,
I think
maybe?
we're going to start with paint, but why don't you take us away, Francis?
Sure thing. So in the paint options, we have 6 regions on your exosuit that you can customize. They are very in-depth. Each region, it's not just a color like how we've done in the past in our other games. It is a full material. So if I go into here, I can pick the main region here and I can apply a physical material to that. So I can put the metal, I can put the fabric, pattern fabric, And so one of the things again here is when you're picking these materials, it's not just the color; it is the physical material, so that affects the reflectance, the smoothness, and the color of the material itself.
And
Awesome.
I love the patterns because they can have two colors.
I realized that I forgot to do some disclaimers.
Oh.
So shame on Ben. But a couple of disclaimers real quick. We're going to show you a lot of stuff that's in here. Not all of it is available at the very beginning. Some things you unlock through the game in various ways. We also today don't want to talk about how many things there are, how you unlock them. Are there things that you pay for? Are there things that you can earn in game? That's all a topic for a different time. We just want to focus on the really cool ways you can customize your appearance. So just wanted to make sure that was clear that none of what you see in here is either the total amount or a subset of the amount. We're just not really going into that. We just want to focus on showing you guys a bunch of cool stuff today.
Yep, so what I'm going through here, is I'm just kind of resetting the default look of the Ranger, and I am putting in just a blank slate, just a white canvas to start with. So I'm picking some random materials here. The fabric. So once you've kind of picked the materials that you like, you can go ahead and start picking the colors. We have a whole bunch of custom colors here.
Yes, so you can actually make your own color palettes. As you see, Francis has been trying this feature out quite heavily. I expect we'll all spend a lot of time doing this. And you can use sort of any color you want. The full color wheel is available here. There's tons of really cool options. And as you create different colors, they're all saved into this palette so you can use them for later.
Yep, so I'm just kind of presetting some colors that I want to use here for customizing my Ranger.
So while you guys are doing this, we also have AJ and Jesse helping us out on our community team, reading through the chat for questions. Please just make sure you guys ask questions as we go. I think the easiest way is if you all ask questions about the section we're in at the time, then we can answer them as we go instead of trying to wait till the end and do Q&A. So make sure you ask questions about what you're seeing right now. If you have questions on paint or materials, and then we can direct them to Francis and Leah. All right, so what are you trying to aim for here, Francis? Like, do you have a vision in mind of what you're trying to achieve?
Yeah, I'm kind of going for a bounty hunter look.
Cool. I thought you were going to make me the Australian rugby union jersey again.
I can do that.
That's fine.
Maybe we can do that a little later. But we can certainly do that.
That's fine. I know when there's a no out there, Francis. Yes. That's fine.
So one of the nice things is, yeah, once you've picked your colors here, you can go ahead and just pick any material, and the colors will store and they'll save, so you don't, lose your settings. You can go back and iterate things on the fly.
Yeah, when you guys were trying to work out the regions, because I think it's interesting, we have the 6 different regions. How did you work out how to split up those regions?
So here, just going through the regions from top to bottom, the regions are named in the same way that the artist had originally built the suit. So the Ranger suits have 3 hard surfaces and 3 soft surfaces. Again, the player can pick whichever region they want, but at least it gives them some guidance as to where these materials would look best. So I could go ahead in here and I could make this a metal, although it might look a little weird that if it's, for example, on the Storm Cape, it would be a little weird to have a metallic cape, but you could go ahead and do that if you wanted.
I personally feel it looks cool, but as an artist, it might be weird.
A metal cape, but it still flows, am I right?
It does. It's very shiny. There's nothing wrong with being super shiny.
We have a couple of questions coming through chat that I'll ask you guys. So, can you make custom logos in game?
No, you cannot currently make custom logos, but we do have the options to do vinyls. Do we want to go into that now? I mean, or do you want?
So let's hold vinyls.
Yeah,
yeah, vinyls. are effectively what you're asking for. They're not custom. We have a whole lot to show you, and Francis will show that off later. So yeah, the answer is no for now. Will there be more and more things added once the game is live? So the answer to that is yes, absolutely. We're still trying to work out the plan for all of that, but our goal is to keep adding more and more stuff forever. As long as we can think of cool things to add, we'll add more stuff to the game. Final question for one of you guys at the moment that we have. Will the Legion of Dawn armor have all legs, arms, chest, and head as well?
Yep, so this is probably a good time to go dive into the Legion of Dawn. Let me just... Okay, so in here, this is as Leah was mentioning earlier, we have the parts, so we can go ahead and start equipping pieces of gear. So for example, put on the Legion of Dawn arms, go through and pick the helmet, and the player can pick which ones they want to have.
Yes, I think an interesting thing you were explaining in a different meeting, Francis, was how these parts work. Like it's less about like equipping arms as much as a bunch of attachments that reflect the character model. Do you want to explain that just a little bit?
Right, so each of the exosuits, like the base suit underneath, the Ranger, the Colossus, the Storm, and the Interceptor, all have an iconic look, which is their lowest level form. And then all the part attachments that get added on top, they are topical, although you can switch out your helmet.
Cool. So you're putting the Legion of Dawn armor pack on, which is available to people that pre-order for the Ranger. And if you buy the Legion of Dawn edition, you can get the Legion of Dawn armor packs for all 4 Javelins available at launch. So one question, so many people have seen the Legion of Dawn art on the website, probably not realizing that, hey, like that's the armor pack, but you can also customize it. Will people be able to make it look exactly like the image on the website?
Yes, so what players will do, what we will do is we will release a set of materials in here similar to this, and we will have them named Legion of Dawn, so that way it'll give the players some guidance as to how to replicate that look. So they can attach just all the Legion of Dawn materials to the regions, and then just pick the colors that they want to go with. It's pretty simple though.
Awesome.
It's silver and gold. You can't go wrong.
It looks amazing though. People are excited. A question for you, Leah. Can we save these personalization appearances to loadouts?
Yes, absolutely. So we do have a section where you can store loadouts for all your different javelins and edit them, change them as you like, and it will also store all of your gear and customization as well. So there'll be the full package for you to build on.
Awesome. I have a bunch more questions coming in. If you guys have things to say, just stop me and keep talking. But what are some of the ways you can unlock new colors or materials? So again, it's a good question. It's one of the things we don't want to get into today. So we're still working out for all of Vanity and all of our personalization options, how they're going to be unlocked in the game. And so we're not really ready to share that yet, but we can share that at a later date. It's a really good question. Just don't want to talk about any of it right now. Can you show how to use Legion of Dawn appearances? Yes, that's what we're doing now. I think I just missed that question earlier. Apologies. Can you change the color of any of the unique appearances? Yes is the answer. So that's kind of what Francis is doing now with the Legion of Dawn armor packs. He's done a couple of different colors, which is really cool.
And I think certain materials, Francis, they have either just the paint color that you can change, and then all of our metallics have quite a few different metallic ranges.
So metal, with the way our physically based rendering works, is metal has an actual scientific value behind it. So if we start breaking that value, it tends to look not great in real light, or at least in the game lighting scenario. So when you the regions are contextual, so if you do pick a metal, for example, let's say I want to go with the welded ones. I like these ones. So if you were to pick these metals, you would get a different color palette range So these are all the physical, real-world metals that exist in the real world. So you have gold, brass, copper, nickel, tin, silver, tungsten. There's no alien materials. These are all based off real-world metals.
So a question while you're in this screen, I think maybe, is can you zoom and rotate, like if you want to see more of the character?
Yep. So you have controls to go ahead and at each level be able to interact with the exosuit.
Awesome. A question was, will there be a randomized feature for colors?
That's a great idea. I will take that one back.
Yeah, currently you
So
not right now.
But the nice thing is on this we have preset colors, so the artists have already pre-selected a wide range of colors, so people don't have to every single time go through the color wheel and have to pick it for every single material. And just so people are aware, we've also added white and black values, because I know that a lot of people always ask for black.
That kind of ties into a question I had. So I remember early on, we were trying to work out how the system would work to have a lot of depth, but also be simple for people like me who aren't the best with fashion. And we got to an interesting place where I think it's pretty straightforward for someone who doesn't want to spend too much time or isn't necessarily that good at this kind of stuff in making something look good. Do you guys want to describe a little bit, like if you're a kind of low-key person who just wants to do something quickly, how do we do that?
So usually when you're in your loadouts, or go through here. So you will always, whenever you create a new loadout, you will get your default ranger, and it just I edited it. Anyway, so why don't we just go through this? So as you create loadouts, you can name them whatever you want. I don't know, Jesse, if you'd be able to type in.
Give us a name.
Give us a name.
Yeah, and so this is a really, really great way that if you make a couple of things that you really like, you can swap between them easily. But you can also just do stuff like, hey, go to all 6 regions and make them all black, and that will just look pretty cool by itself. So you don't have to like go through everything and spend lots of time. Although if you want to, you can really make something that kind of reflects your personal style and flair.
Yeah, I mean, if I've got a whole bunch of friends playing here at work and I just want to get out, I'll just grab the default and change up a few colors. Typically all metal, very fast while they're waiting for me so that I can play my favorite Bender from Futurama look. It's always good. So no, and it's super quick. You're in and out while everyone's readying up. And you're also very shiny.
Speaking of shiny,
Awesome.
you want to go into wear a little bit, Ben?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we do have wear options as well. So again, since everything is built in a layered fashion, we kind of built it in a way so that the players can choose how they want their exosuit to look. Do they want them to look all beat up? Do we want them to look dirty? Do we want them to look all chipped and painted, or have chipped paint? So the players can go ahead and do that, or just cover it in grime. It's a little harder to see here, so that let me just switch up the appearances. Since it is all material based, if you have cloth and you put stains on it, it'll stain a bit more like cloth, versus if you had an all metal suit, the wear would make the metal duller. It would make it cover the way the surface response of the wear will react differently.
And I should also mention that you can, as we're looking at this, you can zoom in and out, toggle on and off the little interaction points if you just want to spend time admiring your suit as well. Is a few of the options we've added in there, as well as you can see, not in this screen, but in other ones, there's lots of options. So we've added filters as well if you want to quickly get into what you need.
Awesome. A question came through that we'll see. The question is, does this only affect your appearance as opposed to stats with things like the Legion of Dawn armor packs?
Leah, do you want to do that one?
Or Ben, you want to grab that?
Yeah, I can answer. So Basically, there's two big parts of the game. One is power and one is vanity. And so what we're talking about now is purely vanity, personalization, appearance, all kind of synonyms, I guess. So everything we're doing now only affects how you look. Separately to that, we have power, which is gears, guns, and a few other equipable parts that we haven't really delved into yet. And that's where you get your power and your stats. So we've really tried to separate that so that, you know, there's one part of the game that's all about becoming powerful, and then there's a different part of the game that's about, you know, changing your appearance to be the way you look. And again, how you unlock all of those things, I don't want to go into today. But for what we're looking at right now, it's purely for your appearance. Another question, can you apply a paint scheme to multiple javelins?
No, we don't have that ability right now, but I'm sure as we go into live service, we can take some of that feedback and make this even better for you. But great idea.
Cool.
Mental
It
notes.
is a great idea.
Yeah.
I knew the answer was no, so I feel guilty asking.
Yeah.
You this, but that's fine.
One of those ones I'm recording silently. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because there's a bunch of good suggestions in here of things we don't have, and I think, you know, this is a really, really robust system. But obviously, like any system in any game, there's a bunch of things we'd love to do going forward to improve it. And so suggestions like that are really helpful for us. Sometimes they're things we thought about ourselves, but sometimes they're not. And so having those suggestions is great. So thank you all for asking those questions. I don't know if we know the answer to this. I don't. But how many personalizations can you save per javelin? So I guess that means how many loadouts can you have?
I know right now we're looking at that. I believe it's currently set to 5, but expect that number to change as we go towards shipping.
Cool. All right, so let's take a little breath from questions for a second. Where are we at? I've been reading and not looking. What do you want to tell us? Where are we at, Francis? What do you want to do next?
We can probably look at the vinyls now. It's probably a good time if I can get. There is a slight bug right now where when I select the loadout. I hope you're keeping track of this one, Leah.
Yeah, sometimes misbehaves.
Yeah. So yeah, we can go right into the vinyls here.
It's early. There's plenty of time.
So the vinyls again is to answer that question about the custom logos. So here we have the vinyl system. So while we can customize you can customize your javelin, and you can apply your materials, you can pick your colors. That's all nice, and you can come up with some really cool designs. But sometimes you just want a little bit more punch, maybe a little reward for doing things in the game. Just something that, in addition, you personalize your exo, give you a little bit of flair. That's what these vinyls
There's a lot of N7 poggers going on in chat, so
yeah.
we might have to show that at some point.
I might just gonna go around that. No. Yeah.
And a question, Francis. These vinyls, are they javelin specific?
No. So the vinyls, once you have the vinyl, it'll apply on any javelin you have, and it should, within reason, look as good as it does on one javelin as it does on another. You can't always account for every single nook and cranny on the exosuit. That this little stripe might look in the exact same spot, but it is as close as the artist can possibly get to making it look good.
Yeah, like the spirit of the decal works across all the suits, right? Yeah. Like, I think they look really cool. I think you have a keener eye for it than many of us have.
Yeah.
So this is the one this is the one that we made for Ben specifically for A3 because he requested it.
I don't know there are any
we
other
can put in
Australian
requests?
rugby fans. It's inspired by the jersey. It's obviously not the jersey. It uses the same colors, which is cool. I think this is what I use when I play every day. I know a question that's come up internally. I didn't catch it in chat. I think it might have been there. Was so you can change all the paint options for all the other stuff we've seen, but what about the vinyls? Can you change them at all, or how does that work?
No, so we actually did. We debated this topic for a long time, and we tried to put full control for the player to customize each decal or each vinyl. The problem with that is the amount of performance expense that it has on the system, where you're You're tracking more parameters, more data, which did affect performance negatively. And on top of that, there was an added complexity, so you would have to double up every single one of these menus, so that the player would have to not only customize their personalize their exo, they would also have to go personalize their vinyl, which seemed like an extra bit of work for very little payoff, versus the artist just making, releasing these cool looking one-off items, which also it really does help to signify things like for challenges, to have these iconic looking vinyls, so when you see another player who's done something, you can see the vinyl that is associated with it.
Yeah, that's the part I was going to say. I think, there's all the technical challenges and the user experience problems with it. But I think even as a player experience, to that exact point, it's great when you can see something and identify it. Again, we're not really talking about how you get things, but an example might be you complete a really difficult challenge and get a cool vinyl. And then you can use that to show off to your friends that you got it. And if they can look at that and immediately relate that that's where it came from, and that's what it is, I think that's a really cool way to show off, even if it's a little humble brag. So the chat is demanding, and I'm sorry, they're demanding N7.
Okay.
So when the people have spoken, Francis.
Let me just...
But did you, I can't remember. So last week, was it last week or the week before? It was N7 day. Who knows what date it is anymore. And so we kind of were randomly like, hey, we should make an N7 look and share it on social media for N7 day. That's really cool. And so did you make this then, or did you have it made already?
No, I made it. It was done the night before the 7th.
I thought so. Can you, I don't know if we need to replicate the exact look. Well, you tell us, how do we make
I will get it as close as I can right now.
As Francis is doing this, AJ and Jesse, what are we like on time? I mean, we're happy to keep going a bit. You just give us like a 5-minute countdown when you need us to start wrapping up.
So far, so good, guys.
Okay, great.
We'll let you know.
So we're going to do N7. Is there anything big in chat you guys would like to see? Is there something that we haven't shown that you've seen in the menus that you think is cool, or something you think we might have missed that you guys want to see? This is an interesting question. I think the answer is no, and it might go into our cool ideas for the future. Is there a way to match colors to the decals once you apply them?
No, but that's a really good idea.
Yeah. I don't know if we can add a color picker dynamically on top of the screen, but that would help a lot.
Do you want to, I'm not an artist, let's be super clear, but I don't know if you want the same colors, do you?
Well, that's kind of, I think probably the person who asked that they noticed I was trying to match the color to the decal, or to the vinyl. So that is a good question, so maybe we'll look into that one.
Yeah, I mean, if you had it equipped in the paint section, we could just have an extra section with related colors. So I am signing us up. I'm just kidding.
I might make a high-risk suggestion here.
Okay.
Once you're done with this. So chat is asking if we could see a different javelin. So I think, first of all, can we show a different one? Question mark right now?
Yes,
we were having some problems earlier. Okay.
Sure.
So we saw that problem. So chat, you get to demand, you have to type Storm or Interceptor, and then we will pick whichever one has the most.
Oh, good.
And also, please give some PogChamp for the N7 look, because Francis did it without rehearsal.
Yes, and I
so
got it
good.
wrong. I got it wrong.
You got it wrong? I can't tell.
That's close. It feels super close. For like a no pressure in front of thousands of people on the spot with no practice. It feels like a pretty good deal. All right, so the votes are in. I've used my eyes skimming chat for 5 seconds to decide which one was most popular. And I think the Storm was the winner. So once we're done with this, we might swap over to the Storm, Francis.
Okay, we can do that now.
Do it.
Leah, question to you. So, all the suits are different. Is there lots of different setup required for the different javelins, like when you guys are building the system? Is there any complexity with that?
Yes, like each of them are set up with their own interaction points. They actually have their own names for each of the regions. Some of them have more paint regions than other ones. Yes, there's actually quite a bit of custom work that goes into setting up each of these, from the cameras and all that kind of stuff, which
Awesome.
makes it all really fun and cool and unique. Yeah.
So what we might do here, Francis, is let's spend like just 2 or 3 minutes. Well, we already have a cool appearance.
Wow.
Okay, that's
yeah,
fine.
you pre-made
I don't know
this
if
one.
you can cut that. That's fine. But let's spend 2 or 3 minutes fiddling around, just showing anything you think is kind of cool or different about the storm. And then we might take a few more questions, and then we'll start wrapping it up because we're starting to go over time here.
Do you want to try emotes?
Oh, yes. Let's do that.
I don't know what they'll do on the
there?
storm. But
Do we want to try it on the storm? Do we want to?
No. Let's.
Okay.
Well, let's. Okay. I think have we ticked the box of we saw a different javelin and it looked really awesome?
Yeah.
I think we did.
Holy,
So
that one
let's
is
go
so
back to the
good.
Ranger. We're still finishing a bunch of setup stuff, so we want to show you guys some of the animations, like emotes and things like that. But we only check through them on the Ranger, so we just want to do that to be safe today. So let's jump over.
Oh, you set up a bunch of these. Teasing.
Some of the stuff, 'cause why not?
Francis is like, look, I know you're the host, but I don't care. I have things to show, so I'm just going to go ahead and show them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we should have been doing this on my account, and this
Probably.
would definitely have beat all my shiny suits, for sure.
Okay, so we're going to do the Ranger, look at some of the animation stuff, so things like emotes, but we're also going to call 5 final questions. So the community guys will skim chat for the final 5 questions, and as we do this, we'll answer them as we go, and then we'll start wrapping up. So do you want to just talk through, Leah, first? Like, what are the sections in this screen represent?
Sure. So here you're able to set your victory pose, which is at the end of all of our missions. You get this really cool, fun, celebratory wrap up with your friends. So you can set anything you want there. The arrival animation is anytime you enter the game at the start of missions, or you're helping other people and you make a grand entrance. So you can set your arrival animation. And then we have emotes.
Do we have any of them that we can show, or do we not want to show
No,
that
they're
today?
not set up in there quite yet. But we do
Okay.
have lots of emotes.
Something to tease for later.
Yeah. How cool you look when you enter the game is one for next time. But yeah, there's lots of really fun emotes here. Right now we've got 3 of them that you can use pick in game. And there's just all sorts of great ones.
This is my favorite one.
Finger guns?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're kind of playing Emote Roulette right now because we do not have custom icons in quite yet, so yeah, but they're all working pretty cool, look great. Shout out to the team for sure.
Yeah, this stuff looks great.
So if you see these on the
that's now my favorite one of
Colossus,
all time.
yeah.
I haven't seen Kung Fu Form 1 before. I'm almost crying at laughter.
Yes.
It's so good.
I've heard the Colossus doing a backflip is quite fun as well.
All right, so I don't know, AJ and Jesse, if we have any of those questions coming through, we should probably ask them when you guys have a second.
Yeah, for sure. One thing, Ben, that I wanted to touch on, if you don't mind, and Francis, do you mind pulling back up the Legion of Dawn?
Yes.
Can we show that a little bit? So a lot of people have been asking about Legion of Dawn. We've got a link, a nifty link on how you get all that stuff. Ben, do you have that stuff in front of you, or do you want me to go over it?
Yeah, we can talk about it real quick. So again, the Legion of Dawn armor pack is the thing you equip with your head, chest, legs, etc. As Leah described, it's kind of the things that change your silhouette. And so if you pre-order the game, you get access to the Legion of Dawn armor pack for the Ranger, which is what we're looking at now. Super cool. And then what I think is one of the most generous offerings in video game history. If you purchase the Legion of Dawn edition, you get the Legion of Dawn armor pack for all 4 of the Javelins. So that's 4 armor packs, which is I think awesome. We're just really excited for people who, want to be early adopters to the game, to be really generous with a really cool look that you can celebrate. Like, hey, I've been here from the beginning. And so we wanted to make sure we reward that. The details are on the website. I don't know if you have the specific link, AJ.
Yeah, I think you touched on everything perfectly. We're still pulling some more questions from the chat as Francis toys around with this javelin here, and he's kind of recreating what you see in the mock-up there, which is really cool. One question we're getting, Ben, and this might be for you, some people asking about, and I know we're not talking about weapons or gear yet, but they want to know about, how that works. Are those part of what you colorize and stuff like that?
Sure. So do Leah and Francis...
I could answer that one in terms of weapons specifically. So weapons do not receive colorization in the same way as the exosuit. Weapons they will have unique looks and appearances. There will probably be another stream going over that. So you can have really cool looking guns.
Yeah, and kind of same with gear. Like there are some variations to how the gear looks, but that's based on the functionality of the gear. And so it's not tied to things that you can specifically customize, but you can tie them together in loadouts. So you can pick, hey, I want these 3 gear pieces, these 2 weapons with this appearance, and I save the whole thing as one loadout. So, you might want to make the red dragon ranger appearance that's all red, and then you equip fire gear, and then you might want to make the frosty warrior. I wish I was more creative. And you make yourself blue, and then you equip the frost grenade and save that as a loadout, and you can then swap between both the customization you have of gear and weapons and the appearance can be tied together. So that's pretty cool. Next question, AJ.
Sure. We've got this one that I've seen a few times. I don't know if you want to touch on this. They saw the nifty N7, and of course we're getting questions about a certain other BioWare IP called Dragon Age.
So
yeah, I think. Well, go ahead, Francis.
No, I was going to say we do have Plaidweave in the game.
I think the answer to all BioWare IPs that we own is, of course, we'll do shout outs and stuff like that to those IPs. I don't think we want to get into the specifics of all of it. We obviously made N7 because N7 Day was just a couple weeks ago. I'm sure we'll give nods to our IPs, as we go forward. So I'm sure you can expect to see things where it makes sense and where it's, appropriate. All right, let's do 2 more questions and then we'll call it.
Yeah, let's do 1 or 2 more, and be sure to drop them in there. As we're going through this, everybody, and thanks for joining us today. I do want to give a quick shout out to Leah and Francis, and I'm sure you were going to do this, Ben, but thank you guys for joining us today on the Anthem live stream.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. Lots of fun.
Yeah, so I'll do a little bit of wrap-up stuff as we get those final questions together. So first of all, for those of you that are in Twitch, thank you so much for coming along. Make sure to follow the channel so you get notified of when we're doing streams in the future. It's twitch.tv/Anthem Game. I'm sure you know that because you're there right now. Both Mike Gamble and I will be kind of rotating hosting the streams probably. We'll kind of rotate week on week so we can bring guests in, like I said at the start. We'll try to share information about upcoming streams through Twitter, through ourselves, also through AJ and Jesse and our main channels. But feel free to follow us. I'm at Ben Irvo on Twitter, and Mike is at Gamble Mike on Twitter. As for the next stream, our goal is to do it in a couple of weeks. We're trying to get consistent with this stuff. We haven't announced a topic yet, although if you're savvy and on Twitter, you saw Mike posing questions out last night about what you guys would like to see next stream. So we'll have some announcements for that coming soon. Hopefully in the next couple of days, we'll give you some more clarity on what we'll do for the next stream. Okay, and then before we sign off, let's get the last two questions. So can you change the color of the visor on helmets?
That's a good question. Leah, do you want to answer that one?
The visor on the helmets? Is it yes? I think it's yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I'm like, yes.
Can we do it?
Not now. No.
Okay. So we will be able to do it. Yes. Good question. I think we answered this question, which was, can we change the appearance of weapons to match javelins? So we talked about that already. Let me see if I can find a random question in chat.
And your gear does inherit the colors of your javelin.
Oh, that's
so
a great
that's the gear
call.
on
So
the
I
back
misspoke
here.
before.
Yep.
I said it didn't.
Yes.
That's a great clarification.
Yeah.
Awesome. A lot of the questions I'm seeing are similar to ones we've answered. So let's go ahead and call it there. First of all, I want to just thank everyone who was involved in putting the stream together. It might seem like we just turn up and chat, but a lot of pre-work goes into this. And so we had a lot of great help from a bunch of production folk, a bunch of our QA partners. Francis and Leah put a lot of time into this. Jesse and AJ put a lot of time into helping getting everything set up. So thank you all so much for all of that hard work. Obviously, a special thanks to Francis and Leah for joining us. It was great to have you as the experts of all of this. I know that we couldn't have covered it as well without you, so thank you so much for coming on. And a final thank you just to everyone who turned up to watch. We've really loved engaging with our community so far. Everyone has been so supportive and encouraging. And if you have no idea how helpful that is for us as we're getting into the last little bit of time here to finish the game, it's great to have that support and that positivity that's in our community. So thank you all for tuning in. And then again, look to Twitter and other parts of social media for announcements on the next live stream. But once again, thank you all so much, and we'll see you next time.